in 2019, my DOJ letter had nothing to do with a bet, had nothing to do with a movie, and there was no investigation bet. These terrorists created an investigation bet, I guess, to thwart and stop people from reading my letter so they could pull off whatever they've been trying to pull off since 2019 into 2023. So I guess maybe they made it a bet so no one would read it in order to stop people from being aware of their global terrorist agenda, this implantation technology, and more. Some tried to disguise it as a movie, some tried as a movie script, some tried to disguise it as a bet in order to hinder people from reading it and taking it seriously. Others tried to disguise me as psychotic so no one would read it and take it seriously. My letters had nothing to do with an investigation or a movie or a bet. It had to do with what I was a victim of, and it had to do with the information about things I was hearing via telepathy and information about people I was a victim of and who were stealing money and property from me illegally. And then they made up stuff he was psychotic so no one would read it. It's for an investigation bet, so don't read it. It's a movie script, so don't take it seriously and read it. And they were doing that in order to aid them in their global terrorist agenda, if you haven't put that together. So that's a key piece of this. And maybe God knows what other tactics they used so no one would read the letter and take it seriously, because they wanted to move undetected from and under the government's radar while they were doing whatever they were doing with implantation, IP theft, betting manipulation, theft and more, their RICO, theft of intellectual property, etc. So that's a key point. So that's what they were trying to do. So I was there. I'm the victim. I was never involved with an investigation, and my letter had nothing to do with an investigation. And supposedly, when I wrote that letter and sent it to law enforcement, they started this investigation bet out of the blue, and that was so they could control information and probably to prevent people from reading it, so they could say it's for a bet and you got to figure it out. And that was their goal, their tactic to try to keep my letter out of the government's eyes and keep the suspects out of the government's radar, so they could move covertly without being watched, is my theory.